Hello everyone, and welcome to this lecture on Human Resource Management, or HRM. Like many topics we cover in this course, HRM is an extremely broad field with its own specialized courses and degrees. Our goal here is not to become HR experts, but to understand the big picture of HRM, its most important concepts, and why it has become such a strategic function in modern organizations. From personnel to people, how HRM evolved. The language of HR has changed dramatically over the last century, reflecting how organizations think about employees. Personnel management, common in early 1900s, basic hiring, record-keeping, payroll. Human resource management from 1980s to 2000s, recognizing employees as valuable resources. Human capital, emphasizing employees' skills, knowledge, and capabilities as assets. Talent management, focusing on developing, promoting, and retaining high-potential employees. Strategic HRM, today, aligning people practices with organizational strategy to create competitive advantage. This shift tells us something important. Employees are no longer just helpers, they are strategic resources. Why strategic HRM matters. By the end of this chapter, you should be able to explain why HRM is considered strategic, understand core HR processes such as recruitment, selection, training, appraisal, and compensation, recognize the importance of competence-based HRM, identify modern compensation approaches including skill-based systems. Let's begin with why HR is strategic, HRM and competitive advantage. In the strategy chapter, we discuss the VRIO framework. Resources can create sustained competitive advantage when they are valuable, rare, inimitable, and organized to capture value. Human resources often meet all four criteria. Consider companies like Starbucks, Trader Joe's, or the Cheesecake Factory. Do they succeed because they use a special kind of coffee bean? Not really. Anyone can buy similar beans. Do they have a store layout that no one else can copy? No. Layouts can be imitated. Instead, their strongest competitive advantage comes from their people and their HR practices. They hire employees who genuinely enjoy service work. They invest in training and development. They offer benefits and incentives that motivate employees. They create cultures that employees want to be part of. A great example is Trader Joe's. They deliberately hire people with unique interpersonal skills, people who will create the cheerful, high-energy atmosphere customers expect. That culture is extremely difficult for competitors to copy. Or consider Southwest Airlines, famous for humor, friendliness, and customer service. Competitors can buy the same planes, but they cannot easily copy Southwest's people. This is why companies say HR can be a strategic partner. HR managers as strategic partners. Strategic HR managers help answer four key questions. The first one is competence. This focuses on whether the organization has the knowledge, skills, and abilities needed to execute its strategy. For example, if a company wants to compete through innovation, then it needs employees who are creative, technically skilled, and able to think outside the box. Competence is about having the right talent in the right roles. The second question is consequence. This dimension asks whether the company has the right rewards, incentives, and performance measures. Employees should be motivated to engage in behaviors that support the strategy. If a firm's strategy emphasizes customer service, for instance, its reward system should encourage employees to go the extra mile for customers. The third dimension is governance. Governance looks at the structures, communication systems, and policies that help create a high-performing organization. For example, clear communication channels, effective teamwork structures, and fair policies help employees understand expectations and work efficiently. Governance ensures the organization runs smoothly and supports strategic goals. The fourth dimension is learning and leadership. This dimension focuses on the organization's ability to adapt to change, respond to uncertainty, and learn over time. In fast-moving industries like tech companies that learn quickly and develop strong leaders are far more likely to survive and succeed. HR managers are not the only ones who perform HR tasks. All managers, like operations and marketing managers, have HR responsibilities such as hiring, coaching, performance appraisal, and sometimes termination decisions in their divisions. This is why understanding HRM is essential for any future manager. The HRM process: finding, developing, and keeping the right people. The HR process includes three major stages. A. Finding the right people includes human resource planning, or talent management, recruitment, and selection. B. Developing the right people involves orientation and training and development. C. Keeping the right people involves performance management, compensation and benefits, and career development and succession planning. Let's go through each one. Human resource planning and talent management. Human resource planning ensures the organization has the right number and type of people in the right places at the right time. It includes two major steps. First, assessing current human resources. What skills do our current employees have? Where are the shortages or surpluses? Second, meeting future HR needs based on the company's strategy. A growth strategy usually requires hiring more people and developing internal talent. A cost reduction strategy may require layoffs, restructuring, or job redesign. A more modern term for this process is talent management, which emphasizes growing employees, promoting from within, identifying high-potential employees, preparing successors for key roles. This is also called succession planning. Succession planning motivates employees because it communicates that internal mobility is possible. It also ensures no critical role becomes vacant unexpectedly. Recruitment. Attracting the right talent. Recruitment is the process of locating, identifying, and attracting qualified applicants. There are two main sources: internal recruitment such as promotions, transfers, and internal job postings. Advantages include motivation, faster onboarding, and lower costs. External recruitment such as LinkedIn, university career fairs, employee referrals, social media, and industry-specific job boards. Employee referrals are especially powerful because employees tend to refer people who fit the culture. A helpful exercise. Pause and think about organizations you have worked for or know about. Would you refer a friend to work there? Why or why not? Your answer reveals a great deal about that company's HR practices. Job analysis, job description, and job specification. Before hiring, companies must know exactly what a job requires. This begins with a job analysis which defines the tasks and responsibilities of the job and the skills, knowledge, and competencies needed. Job analysis produces two key documents: job description, which is a written statement of duties, responsibilities, and working conditions. Job specification, which is a list of knowledge, skills, abilities, and qualifications required. These documents reduce ambiguity and help recruit the right people, train and develop employees, evaluate performance fairly, and clarify expectations. For example, a product manager's job description might include leading product strategy, conducting market research, and coordinating with engineering and marketing. The job specification might include experience with data analytics, strong communication skills, and ability to work with cross-functional teams. Designing effective job descriptions. Effective job descriptions should be clear, concise, and accurate. Use common industry keywords so applicants can find them. Avoid company-specific jargon that outsiders won't understand, and use searchable terms on platforms like LinkedIn. For example, an intern once showed up to an oil and gas company confused because the job posting referenced a roughneck, a term specific to drilling operations. This shows why industry research is important, but also why job descriptions should balance clarity with accuracy. Well-crafted job descriptions make recruitment, training, and performance management much easier and more effective.